Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me In Coach on episode 66, Diamondbacks versus Marlins Game 1. Lineup of today, it looks pretty much of the same than before. There's nobody didn't came in to pitch hit or whatever. It just looks the same. Fortunately enough, two people did not get a base hit and the rest have. So those people did not get a base hit was Pavin Smith and Ryan Wolfsmith. Man, again, I don't know what's going on with Wolfsmith in some ways and stuff. He is hacking at the plate, but he is missing the ball very well, and he is striking out like most of the times he's coming to the plate and stuff. And same thing with Pavin Smith. He just doesn't look good at the time when he came back and stuff. So I don't know what's going on, but fortunately enough, the others are actually doing really, really good and stuff. Everybody's getting on plate and stuff. Perdomo went 2 for 2, and then he got walked like twice and stuff. Tommy Troy's doing good. He walked a couple times and stuff, so that's why he's 1 for 3 and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy to see this team do some ways good, and then fortunately enough losing kind of short in some ways and stuff. But mostly than not very often enough, this team should absolutely win over the Marlins today, but fortunately enough we didn't and stuff. And also we had a chance as well, but again we didn't get it. So I'm honestly enough satisfied of the offense today and stuff, and I think the offense did really good. Pitching wise of enough, it's very, very disappointed. Today was just not our day with pitching wise and stuff. So, today was just horrible, man. First of all, starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen. Fortunately enough, I think Zach Gallen did great today. He went 6 innings, gave up 9 hits. Doesn't really look good for him. Struck out 3, walked once, and then only gave up 3 runs and stuff. And the crazy thing is it happens is they were all back-to-back innings. So he only gave up 1 run in only 3 innings. Some ways enough, yes, that's good, but not really. That's honestly really, really bad and stuff. Like, I get it, they have some superstars on that team, but it's so weird. In some ways enough, Marlins are doing good baseball and stuff, but I don't know. Gallen just makes me so weird about him and stuff. Just everything about him and stuff. I feel like, to me, if what I want to do, trade to the deadline. This is what I'm talking about. Because he is not really helping our team that much and stuff. He should be the ace of the team. And hearing about other people I know around me and stuff are saying that he's not the ace. If he's not the ace, I want him out. Because I thought enough if he was saying going to take the ace, way and stuff. But he's not showing that and stuff. So trade him. And stuff. Trade him to the Rockies, because clearly enough the Rockies need that and stuff. I don't need it anymore and stuff. So it's just so lame of just hearing of it and stuff. Go to the Tigers or something. Give me Torgerson. I mean not Torgerson. Screwball. Terry Screwball and stuff. And also I'll take Torgerson as well. ASU. Just letting you know on that and stuff. So yeah, it's just like I'm so disappointed with Gallen so much. Same thing with Kelly. Both of them are just not the way we wanted, and in their face enough, like they just look like they just don't care anymore and stuff. Shows enough. If you're gonna be on my team, you gotta care, because I do. I do care about winning the best way and stuff. I'm not want to say enough of like, oh, I want to win because we want to win and stuff. We want to win successfully in a way and stuff. Like that's what I want and stuff. I want to go out there and be disgusting and stuff, and you're making the opponent to be as disgusting on you, and we don't want that. So it's just so tough at this point of view with the starting pitchers and stuff. We're hot and cold every single time, and hot and cold is not good. You know, you're like, yeah, if the playoffs ended here, we will still be in the playoffs in the wild card spot. But again, some ways enough, if we keep going with this and stuff, and other teams are doing better and stuff, like the Marlins and the Nationals and stuff, have no competition to the playoffs and stuff, it shows enough of we should absolutely beat these teams. But again, enough, you know, the Nationals and the Marlins are actually doing a lot better and stuff, and especially enough of they're beating us in a way, in a positive way. What they're doing today and stuff, it shows and stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen very much, but it's just like, it's just so rough to see Gallen and Kelly going downhill at this time, because they're supposed to be our two best pitchers on the team, and they're not performing well. So that is that. The Marlins starting pitcher was Max Mailer. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck 5, walked 2, and run 2. So he did okay. I think he did a lot better than Gallen today and stuff, just slightly, a little bit and stuff, but I think he did the best he can and stuff. You know, we were trying to get back into it in some ways and stuff. You know, he gave up only 2 runs, and I was like solo home runs or something. I don't know what's going on and stuff, but that's what it is. Bullpen for the Diamondbacks: Taylor Clark, Ryan Thompson, Brandon Garcia, and Kevin Ginkel. And pretty much enough. Like Ginkel did not give up any runs at all and stuff. Garcia had a little struggle here and there. Clark gave a lot of struggles, and Ryan Thompson only got 3 ground outs, and that's pretty much it from him and stuff. So he did pretty solid, but yeah, just today, just not to it, because we were into it, and then we went downhill at the last minute and stuff. So it's just the bullpen at Gallen getting to that point and stuff. It's rough for pitching for the Diamondbacks enough. Like, we don't want to go down this hill at pitching and stuff. So they need to get back what they had before and do a lot better, because it's not looking today. I'm going to talk about scoring right now and stuff. I did short it a little bit down, but fortunately enough, there's a lot scoring, so there's a lot to talk about and stuff. So just letting you know on that and stuff. Starting off with Corbin Carroll with a solo home run in the top of the first to make it 1-0. Connor Newby or something, RBI double to make it 2-1, bottom of the second. Gabe Marino hitting a solo home run to make it 2-3, top of the fourth. Liam Higgs with the RBI double to make it 4-2, bottom of the sixth. Kyle Storrs with a 2 RBI double to make it 6-2, bottom of the sixth. And then Kento Marte with a RBI double to make it 3-6, top of the seventh. Again with Kento Marte with a 2 RBI single, make it a 5-6, top of the eighth. Otto Lopez with the RBI single to make it 7-6, bottom of the eighth. And then Esteury Ruiz hit a RBI double to make it 10-6, bottom of the eighth. And that is the final score. We lost 6-10. That was the record. I mean, the final score and stuff. Our record right now is 34-32. So we are 2 up over 500 and stuff. And I felt enough we almost had this game. And what happened is the ump. The ump really made 2 really bad calls and stuff, and it really pretty much took over the game for the Marlins to win. Because in generally of enough, there was 2 outs, 2 people on base when Tommy Troy was up to the plate. Ball call strike when it was supposed to be a ball. Fortunately, at that point of enough, they also walked again of enough of like Tommy Troy should be at first base, bases loaded, 2 outs for Marte to come up. For that strike, for that ump messed up, really got to Tommy Troy to line out in the outfield, or pop up, whatever you say it, line out, pop up, anything, and that's the end of the game. So, like, we honestly enough, the Diamondbacks had a chance to get back in the game. Like, it's crazy enough of they got back into it in the 8th and tied the game up. And then after that, the Marlins got 4 runs in the 8th, bottom of the 8th and stuff. And then in the 9th, we still had a chance enough to basically get more runs or tie the game up if Marte would actually hit a grand slam, if Marte would come to the plate. But fortunately that didn't, because the ump really helped the Marlins at this point and stuff. So I'm just like, I'm honestly sick and tired of umps are just making a mess and not really helping the other team overall and stuff. And it looks pathetic. It's gross, sick to my stomach in a way of enough of why would we should allow this in a way. To me, as a baseball fan and stuff, I want just sports in generally. I don't care what the sport is, okay? I want all sports have a fair way to play games and stuff, and there are millions of people do not care about other people, where enough of they think cheating is the answer. Okay. Let's just see what you would do when you would cheat in a bad way what you deserve of like what the Houston Astros did. Okay? Houston Astros cheated on a scandal of basically knowing what the pitch is coming from a camera view and stuff, and winning the World Series in 2017 over the Dodgers. In some ways enough, if they actually just did it in 2017 and let it slide in some ways, maybe, who knows. But no. But they kept going with it. They've been doing it for a good 3 years. Then they got caught and stuff. And the most crazy thing is 2 people on the team apologize for it. Good job apologizing for being a cheater. And, I don't understand why the whole team cannot do it. Didn't ever take the Astros, champion thing down. They just totally won it. They still have the trophy. They still have the ring. To me of enough, if I was part of the team, I'll put guilt in me right away, where enough of, like, this is not it. I'll throw my ring to the trash and destroy it at the moment and go to a freaking other team and say enough of, hey, I didn't want to do that and stuff. I was not part of it, whatever, I didn't know and stuff. And then fortunately enough to win successfully on a different team. So just like, to me, of enough of, you can laugh all you want in Astro's face. Sure, why not? I'll do it all the time with Bregman and Altuve, because those are the only two people who actually apologize and stuff. And to enough of Jose Altuve was just talking to his heart of enough of like, hey, we're humans, we make mistakes. This mistake, my goodness, this is a huge mistake of your life, bro, and stuff. And especially enough people saying enough that he's not even part of the cheating, banging trash can stuff. Like, okay, sure, why not? You were not part of the trash can banging stuff, but hey, guess what? You got caught by being on a buzzer when you hit a walk-off home run on Chapman in 2019 to get to the World Series to play the Nationals. Guess what? You didn't win that one either and stuff. And we're not saying enough of you didn't cheated, dude. You got caught. What's the reason why you went in the the dugout and stuff to change it and stuff? Why you're telling your teammates to not taking your jersey off? Because you're hiding something, bro. Like, I don't care about the trash thing. If you're not doing this and you actually did this and stuff, you're still causing yourself to be as a cheater and stuff. Don't say enough, oh, we didn't cheat. You're caught red-handed, dude. I don't know what other things to say from that and stuff. Like this will haunt you forever and stuff. And you thinking you're gonna be part of the Hall of Fame, like what Barry Bonds can't even get to and stuff? Of course people are not going to enjoy this. Of course people are not going to vote you in the Hall of Fame because you're a cheater and stuff. Like, if Barry Bonds was actually in the Hall of Fame because he did steroids, anyone can get to the Hall of Fame. But fortunately enough, voters in the world says he cheated by doing steroids and stuff. And fortunately enough for people thinking of Hall of Fames, okay, big word of it, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame means greatest of all time in that typical sport, okay? And generally of enough for somebody was so big in the 90s and stuff for the Pirates and the Giants to hit the most career home run by doing steroids and stuff. And you can absolutely say from other people have the same situation doing steroids with other names around at that time and stuff, realize enough of why they're not in the Hall of Fame too. Because again, steroids is a typical thing, is not allowed in the sport of baseball and stuff, and causing enough to literally cheat to make you better and stuff, we're not going to allow that. I wouldn't allow that, okay? And fortunately enough, fans absolutely agree on that, where enough of, we're not going to vote a cheating person to steroids in the Hall of Fame. And that is the reason why Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't care what the number is, what he got to. And anyways, he got those numbers because he did steroids and stuff. The steroids made him better. Like, that's the only simple thing to absolutely say from that point and stuff. So, and just in a way, it's just, there's no other times where we could absolutely say about of like not fair and cheating, all these typical things and stuff. I'm not saying umps are making the game cheating in some ways enough. It's just cheating is not going to be more allowed to this point because it's not fair for the other players and stuff because they're not doing the same thing and they want to do this because they only care about winning and money whatever and stuff to them and stuff. And unfortunately enough, being not fair by not calling the right calls to anything and stuff. And there's millions and millions of people literally going to say enough of, oh, I don't care about that. Let's make sure of enough that that actually happened to your team and what you think about that and stuff. Because this thing happened to my team and I don't like it and stuff. We had a chance and we lost because of the ump's call and stuff. If you're the New York Yankees and you saw a pitch was not even close to the strike zone, you'll be heated as well. Just letting you know on that. You know, I get it enough, but I just wish like all sports would have like a fair game, fair way. Like it doesn't matter what team, what player it is, what it does, whatever and stuff. Everybody needs to show the positive respect to having a fair game and working hard and successful will achieve you more up there in the Hall of Fame situation. And because if you're not going to show that, and if you want to cheat and not showing fairness and stuff, then you're going downhill at this point because you're not going to be up there. Okay? Like, you never will be and stuff. Like, Tatis threw that away from him and stuff. Like, I don't care how good he is at this time. He lost his opportunity to get to the Hall of Fame and stuff because of what he did and stuff. Same thing with Profar. You know, I'm hearing Max Kempler enough to come to the Diamondbacks and stuff, and he got banned being in the playoffs and stuff, you know, because he did steroids. Like, it is just crazy enough of people, especially at this modern time of baseball, people are still doing it. Like, you're losing your career at this time, you know. Nobody's not going to say enough, you're not the best. You're not the best. It's so weird, man. It's awful from the sports of baseball, and it's awful about sports, and fans don't want to see that and stuff because people are going to get heated, you know. And I got heated very much. Absolutely. 100% I did not enjoy what I saw and stuff, and I would love to see Marte coming to the plate. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Who knows? Marte would actually get out, and you guys still will win the game and stuff. Like, to me, of enough, that will be fair because you guys did not call. You know, the ump didn't mess up the game and stuff. Like, so, like, I get it, it's a game and stuff. We gotta worry about this and stuff, but like sometimes enough of like we also care about the sport and you know, like I want to win in a fair way and stuff. Like why do you think enough of I absolutely said about Perdomo was giving up signs at, you know, looking at the pitcher and stuff, giving the signal to Vargas when he got a base hit and stuff. Like, again, I already said, if I was the manager or if I was, like, in this typical lead to it and stuff, I would come up to Perdomo and say, like, hey, like, stop doing this. We're not doing this, okay? Our team is not provide to cheat in this way. I get it enough that we can do this, but you're on my team, and I don't want to see that ever again. And stuff. And if you're thinking this is allowed enough, I'll get you out of here. I don't care how good you were last year. Get out of here, okay? I don't want to see this, okay? If you want to still be part of this team of providing as a good player, show of you enough to be a good player by not showing cheating in a way. Play the fair way. Be the best you can with hard working, and that would give you much upper level than you are. Because it doesn't matter enough if other people can do it. I'm saying I don't want my team to do it. So don't do it. Simple as that. Like, I'll go down and talk to Toilet Bello. You know what? I'm going to go down and take your job. I'm the manager now. I'm the captain now. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And it's just annoying enough of, like, we tied the game up, and then they got back into it and got more runs, and we had a chance, and downfall. Yeah, just everything just went downhill today and stuff. Not looking good. So, fortunately for that, for the progress right now and stuff, we just gotta be open-minded of enough of, like, hey, we did good today and stuff. I know we kind of lost short in a way, but let's keep going. Let's get on the train, get back into it. Let's get that progress up there and stuff. Pitching, need to do a lot better. This wasn't the day, so hopefully enough you get a good night's sleep and wake up tomorrow and let's win this game, you know? Let's win game 2 and 3 because we cannot lose another series on a not really good team and stuff. Like, we cannot do that. You know, we should show the Marlins we're better over them and stuff. Doesn't matter who they have on their team and stuff because pitching cannot let the other opponents on their offense to do good, you know. So, fortunately for tomorrow, Nelson is pitching, so hopefully he can go out there and perform good. And our offense, if they can do what they did today, tomorrow and stuff on a very well good defense team, we can win. Hopefully have enough. And then fortunately for game 3, Cali needs to show up. If so. So that's pretty much of it. I know I got heated, but it's just like, it's just so annoying to see your team to go this way and stuff, and I hate it, and I wish all sports, because, like, and generally enough, people love to cheat, people love to not care about anything. Umps are the worst overall and stuff. Like, you probably saw, McLean, or, yeah, McLean, is that what his name? The person plays for the Reds or something and stuff. He basically got a free walk by challenging the ABS because the ump was so bad, and every single time he called it a strike was not even close to the strike zone, and he challenged all of them, and he won all of them. Like, I get enough of, like, yes, of enough of, like, we didn't challenge it at either and stuff, but, like, we shouldn't challenge every single time, you know? So it's just so hard and stuff. And again, it wasn't even close, and so I'm surprised enough Tommy Troy did not go for it and stuff. Even at this point, like, it matters at this time because we're getting so close. The 9th inning, dude. Like, I don't know why he didn't do it, but he didn't and stuff. And unfortunately enough for Joe Hacks, the catcher for the Marlins, he also challenged to challenge in the same inning, or maybe different innings or whatever and stuff. But fortunately enough, he also got it wrong. So maybe Tommy Troy doesn't want to give up, you know, free pass of giving up some challenger away if he would be wrong. So totally get it. You know, the Marlins did it, so they got failed from that. So I guess Tommy Troy probably realized enough of, like, I don't want to make a mistake, you know. But if he went for it, he wouldn't be wrong, and he probably would be at first base if he did challenge it. Because, again, it was It was a ball. It was definitely a ball. It should be at first base. Post be bases loaded, 2 outs for Marte to come up, and Marte was great today and stuff. He went 3 for 5, by the way, and stuff. And fortunately enough, again, so much RBIs to help the team to get back and tie the game up and stuff. It's a huge difference. Absolutely. Marte did good. Because if we actually win today and stuff, even for Marte to come up into that plate, to be bases loaded for 2 outs in the ninth inning against Fairfrank and stuff, like he would be the MVP, no doubt about it, and stuff, if he actually hit a grand slam or a couple base hits to get us to win the game and stuff. Like, absolutely, and stuff. So it's just devastated enough of he did not get recommended today as an MVP. So, but I guess he's the MVP for today because he did good, but not on the podcast. It's a bummer. It's what it is. We just gotta move on and let's just get better. That's all we gotta do. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a great day and thank you for watching.